You know, I've always envied people who sleep like babies. I, on the other hand, woke up every morning feeling shattered, even though I got my full 8 hours, had an orthopedic mattress, and wore a sleep tracker. It seemed like I was doing everything right. Yet real rest never came. Then I asked myself a simple question. Why do ancient monks sleeping on thin mats without any gadgets wake up refreshed and enlightened, while we don't? It turns out we've been searching for the magic pill for sleep in the wrong place all along. We bought expensive mattresses, smart alarms, meditation apps. But the real secret of deep sleep is hidden not in technology, but in our consciousness, in how we approach sleep itself. Right now, as you watch this video, some manager is tossing and turning in bed after another day of social media and endless work chats. His brain is overloaded. He can't switch off. Meanwhile, in a Tibetan monastery, a monk is already breathing calmly, sinking into his nightly zen. Tomorrow morning, the first will guzzle coffee to wake up, while the second will greet the sunrise with a clear mind and a smile. So what's the difference? The magic begins in the morning. Yes, you heard me right. Buddhist monks start preparing for sleep the moment they wake up. They rise before dawn, between 4 and 5 a.m., and immediately practice meditation. This creates a rhythm of sleep day sleep, an absence of chaos that becomes the foundation for true rest. But the biggest secret lies in their evening rituals. 1 to 2 hours before sleep, monks enter contemplative meditation. Tibetan medicine confirms this is not just a spiritual practice. It lowers anxiety levels, speeds up falling asleep, and helps the brain enter deep sleep stages faster. In some monasteries, there is even a rule. The last thought of the day should not be about the mundane, but about compassion for all beings. A Zen teacher once said, "We fall asleep with a thought for the well-being of others, and sleep purifies the mind better than any prayer." Imagine, instead of scrolling through social media before bed, you lie down with a smile, thinking kind thoughts. Within a week of such practice, you'll notice you fall asleep faster and wake up easier. But the most astonishing thing is still ahead. Monks practice a special technique, dream yoga, or lucid dreaming. They learn to remain observers even in sleep, which increases the duration of deep rest and the quality of recovery. And here's the shocking part. Studies on monks recorded a unique state of half sleep, half awake, where the brain stayed active while the body was in complete rest. That's why they need less time for sleep, but recover better. So what's the true secret? It's not about the number of hours, but about the quality of immersion and the inner ritual. But how can we apply these techniques in the modern world? How can ordinary people with jobs and families learn lucid dreaming and pre-sleep meditation? That's what we'll cover in the next section, where I'll reveal simple steps anyone can start using this very evening. It will change the way you see sleep forever. We've discovered that the secret of monks' perfect sleep lies not in the night itself, but in how their day unfolds. This is the first and most important paradox that flips all our assumptions. We usually fight insomnia in the evening, but it turns out we need to start in the morning. Here's a simple yet brilliant formula. Proper awakening, easy falling asleep. In some monasteries, they even say that if you can't wake up properly, you can't fall asleep properly. And that's absolutely true. Imagine, a monk wakes between 4 and 5 a.m. with the first rays of sunlight. He doesn't leap out of bed or grab his phone. He lies still for a few minutes, practicing calm breathing. This smooth transition from sleep to wakefulness tunes his biorhythms for the entire day ahead. I tried this method myself. At first, it seemed insane to wake up so early. But within a week, I noticed something surprising. By evening, I felt naturally tired, not exhausted. I would fall asleep in 10-15 minutes, instead of tossing around for hours. The monk's whole day follows a strict rhythm, a kind of dance with nature. They live by the sun, waking early, going to bed early. Their minds don't jump from task to task like ours. They are fully present in each moment, when eating, when silent, when working. And here's the amazing part. This daytime mindfulness creates the perfect conditions for nighttime rest. A brain that stayed focused and unburdened during the day can switch off easily in the evening. Unlike ours, which has been overloaded with social media, work chats, and news feeds. But how can we achieve such mindfulness in our chaotic modern life? How can we create this rhythm of sleep day sleep when we're always rushing somewhere? It turns out, there are a few simple techniques anyone can practice, even in the middle of a bustling city. They don't require going to a monastery or radically changing your life. They work with your mind, not your circumstances. The most powerful of them is evening meditation, which literally resets the nervous system. But how do you meditate properly so it truly works? And what if your thoughts won't quiet down? That's what we'll cover in the next chapter, where I'll reveal concrete techniques that will help you fall asleep as easily as Buddhist monks. It's simpler than you think, and it works from the very first night. Now let's talk about what's hardest for modern people: digital detox. While the city scrolls through feeds and binges shows every evening, monasteries embrace something extraordinary: silence. Complete, deep, healing silence. At first, I didn't believe this was important. I thought, so what if I scroll Instagram before bed? It helps me relax. Turns out, no, that's the biggest deception. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production, our main sleep hormone. We literally steal deep sleep from ourselves. Here's what monks do. They create a protective cocoon from civilization. 2 to 3 hours before sleep. No food, so the body spends energy on recovery, not digestion. No bright lights, only candlelight or dim lamps. No loud conversations, and absolutely no gadgets. And the amazing part? Modern research confirms this wisdom. When a Buddhist monk was studied in a Western clinic, doctors were shocked. His melatonin levels and deep sleep stages were far higher than those of an average city dweller, despite sleeping fewer hours. Imagine the contrast. The whole city glowing with smartphone screens at night, while in a monk's cell only a candle flickers alongside steady breathing. 2 different worlds, 2 different approaches to sleep, with radically different results. Of course, I know how hard it is to give up modern comforts. I started small, putting my phone in another room an hour before bed. At first, it felt strange, even unsettling. But within a week, I noticed I fell asleep faster and woke up truly rested. Another powerful tool is monotonous, natural sounds. Monks sometimes chant softly or listen to recordings of rain. This doesn't just relax. It connects the mind with a sense of eternity, carrying it beyond the worries of the day. But here's what amazed me most. You can go beyond avoiding stimulants and actively reprogram your brain for a different type of perception. There's an ancient practice that turns sleep itself into meditation. It's called dream yoga, or yoga nidra. And this isn't magic. It's a concrete technique anyone can learn. How it works and how to apply it today. That's what we'll cover in the next part, where I'll share the Buddhist secrets of lucid dreaming. Now we reach the heart of Buddhist sleep practice, evening meditation. This isn't just relaxation, as many assume. It's deep work with consciousness that literally resets your nervous system before nightfall. I remember trying Western meditation techniques at first, setting timers, forcing myself into uncomfortable poses, getting frustrated when I couldn't clear my mind. Until I understood the key. Buddhist meditation isn't about fighting thoughts. It's about the art of letting them go. 1 to 2 hours before bed, monks enter contemplative meditation. Tibetan medicine shows this practice not only calms but also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, accelerates falling asleep, and helps the brain move into deep sleep faster. But the most profound element is the last thought of the day. In some monasteries, there's a rule. Monks must fall asleep not with mundane worries, but with compassion for all living beings. A Zen master once said, "We fall asleep with thoughts of others' well-being, and sleep cleanses the mind better than any prayer. Imagine." Instead of replaying problems or planning tomorrow, you lie there wishing good to everyone, loved ones, strangers, even those who upset you today. This isn't just poetic. It literally reshapes your brain chemistry. I began simply. Before bed, recalling 3 good things from the day and silently giving thanks. Within a week, I noticed I fell asleep smiling, not anxious. Within a month, I needed an hour less sleep for the same recovery. Rumor has it, some monks after years of practice sleep only 4 to 5 hours and still feel amazing. Not because they force less sleep, but because their sleep quality becomes so deep that their bodies restore faster. So how do you practice this meditation? Here's a simple method you can try tonight. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and just watch your breathing. Don't try to change it, just observe. When thoughts arise, don't push them away. Gently return to the breath. Just 10-15 minutes of this puts your brain into a completely different state. And here's the most important secret. You can meditate even in your sleep. There's an ancient practice of dream yoga, where you maintain awareness even in unconscious states. But how does it work? And can ordinary people learn it? That's what we'll explore in the next chapter, where I'll reveal the technique that can turn your sleep into true meditation. And now we arrive at the most fascinating part, the practice that transforms ordinary sleep into a spiritual journey. Dream yoga, or yoga nidra. This isn't just lucid dreaming as many know it. It's far deeper. When I first tried it, it felt like magic. I lay in bed trying to observe myself falling asleep. At first, I just blacked out. But then one night, the impossible happened. I realized I was asleep, yet fully conscious of the dream. Buddhist monks have practiced this for centuries. They learned to preserve the witness consciousness even in the deepest sleep stages. Studies show extraordinary results. Practitioners enter a unique state where the body is deeply relaxed, but certain brain regions stay active. One famous experiment with Swami Rama showed he could recall every detail of his dreams despite being in deep rest. His brain functioned in a special mode, resting and awake at the same time. Imagine a monk drifting into sleep with an inner smile, meeting dream symbols of compassion, a lion, a golden lotus. He isn't just sleeping, he's journeying through his own consciousness, training the mind to release fear and attachment even in the unconscious. For me, this was life-changing. Before, I woke up forgetting my dreams. Now many of them remain vivid, like lived experiences. Most importantly, after such conscious dreams, I wake up feeling deeply rested, not just unconscious for hours. Physiologically, this works because during yoga nidra, the brain produces alpha and delta waves simultaneously, combining deep relaxation with sustained awareness. It's a half-sleep, half-awake state where the body fully rests, while the mind remains aware in a unique way. And the best part? Anyone can learn this. Start small. Before bed, simply set an intention to observe the process of falling asleep. Don't try to control it. Just notice. Over time, it will start happening naturally. But then comes the question, what about the morning? How do you transition out of this state and anchor the benefits? Monks have special morning rituals for that too, turning awakening into a ceremony of energy renewal. That's what we'll cover in the final part, where I'll piece everything into a system that anyone can apply today. And now we come to the most crucial stage, ending the cycle properly. Because how we wake up determines not only our morning, but also the quality of the next night. It's a circle of harmony refined by monks over centuries. I used to be a night owl. Early wake-ups felt like torture. My alarm would rip me from deep sleep, and I'd stumble up feeling hit by a truck. Until I learned a truth. Real awakening isn't just opening your eyes. It's a ritual. Monks rise between 4 and 5 a.m., but they don't leap up. They open their eyes and remain still, practicing mindful breathing for a few minutes. It's a gentle bridge between worlds, sleep and wake. As one old Himalayan monk said, "They wake not only with their eyes, but with their heart." I started small, setting my alarm 15 minutes earlier, lying with eyes closed, recalling my dreams, silently giving thanks for the new day. And it changed everything. No more morning grogginess. Instead, a sense of peace and clarity. This short post-wake meditation isn't just pleasant. It seals the effects of deep sleep, preserving the purity and calm gained overnight. Ancient texts say, it locks in the energy of night's recovery. Imagine, instead of instantly grabbing your phone and diving into messages and news, you lie smiling for a few minutes, grateful for another day of life. This sets an entirely different tone for your whole day. Here's the amazing part. This morning ritual directly impacts the quality of the next night. Proper awakening creates a proper day, which leads to proper sleep. That's the rhythm of sleep day sleep monks honor so deeply. So let's piece it all together. The Buddhist secret of sleep isn't one magic trick. It's a philosophy made of 5 key elements: early awakening with mindful transition, digital detox, 2 to 3 hours before sleep, evening meditation with thoughts of compassion, dream yoga and lucid sleep practice, morning gratitude and sealing the effect. It only works as a system. You can meditate before bed all you want, but if you wake to a blaring alarm and scroll your phone immediately, the effect will be minimal. I've walked the path from someone who never felt rested to someone who wakes minutes before the alarm, light and energized. It's not magic, it's understanding how body and mind work. If you'd like a full step-by-step system with practical exercises, like this video, subscribe to the channel and comment "I want the practice." Your support will help us create a dedicated video with a breakdown of each technique. Remember, your sleep isn't just a physiological need. It's a journey inward, a source of immense energy and wisdom. Sleep mindfully, wake gratefully, and your life will transform without exaggeration. Wishing you deep sleep and bright awakenings.